Do you know roughly 73% of kids consume caffeine each day? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then I'm Rashmi, registered dietitian and sports and exercise nutritionist, and on this channel you will find undisputed evidence-based nutrition science to help you stay fit and maintain healthy lifestyle. So today I am going to talk about caffeine or coffee consumption among kids and teens. It's a very serious and important topic, and I would request you to share this video as much as possible because caffeine consumption is increasing day by day among kids and athletes. It's very common for teen athletes to reach out for energy drinks before a game or to take coffee to handle late night studies. Caffeine is the world's most popular psychoactive drug that is legally available to children and adolescents. While caffeine has been associated with a lot of health benefits and is considered safe for consumption in moderation, concerns have been raised on the side effects in children and adolescents consuming large quantities of caffeine. Now, a lot of you might think that neither I nor my child consume tea or coffee, so we are safe. But you will be surprised to know that high caffeine consumption happens through so many foods and beverages other than coffee only, which I am going to explain in the next part of this video. So caffeine can cause real problems in children and adolescents, and so it should not be ignored. So today I am going to discuss what is caffeine, caffeine sources, recommended caffeine limits in children and teens, should kids and teenagers consume energy drinks, side effects and health consequences of caffeine, caffeine overdose and toxicity, and at what age caffeine is safe for kids and teenagers. So it's going to be a little long video, but trust me, it's worth every minute. Also, I have given time codes in the description box if in case you want to skip any section. So if you are interested, then hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to my channel. Caffeine is a natural psychoactive substance found in tea, coffee, and cacao plants. It is also known as trimethylxanthine. So it works basically by stimulating brain and central nervous system, and that's why we feel less tired and more alert. And this is the reason why a lot of people, including kids, prefer morning cup of coffee or reach out for soda, coffee, and other caffeinated beverages during lunchtime for quick energy boost. So apart from coffee, caffeine is found in tea, chocolates, then soft drinks, energy drinks, jelly beans, syrups, and many other foods. It is also an ingredient in many prescription and non-prescription drugs like cold, allergy, and pain medications. Synthetic caffeine is a common food and beverage additive. So our kids and teens get most of their caffeine from chocolates, energy drinks, iced tea, chocolate milk, cold coffee, and vitamin water. According to FDA, for healthy adults, 400 milligram of caffeine, which is 4 to 5 cups of coffee, is recommended, but there is no set limit for children. The American Academy of Pediatrics discourages the consumption of caffeine and other stimulants by children under 12 years. But for adolescents between 13 to 18 years, 100 milligram of caffeine per day is recommended. So in order to give you a little idea how 100 milligram of caffeine will look like, I am going to give you a list of common foods and beverages showing you how much caffeine is present each of them. 30 ml of coffee contains 40 milligram of caffeine, whereas around 200 to 230 ml of black tea contains 40 to 48 milligram of caffeine. Now, energy drink like Red Bull contains 80 milligram of caffeine, Mountain Dew contains 55 milligram of caffeine, Diet Coke contains around 45 milligram of caffeine, and iced tea contains around 70 milligram of caffeine in 350 ml tea. Now, 30 grams of dark chocolate bar contains somewhere around 18 to 20 milligram of caffeine, whereas milk chocolate bar contains 6 milligram of caffeine. Chocolate milk contains 3 to 13 milligram of caffeine, and 500 ml of vitamin water contains roughly around 50 milligram of caffeine. It's very important to pay attention to the serving size because the quantities of cold coffee, energy drinks consumed are quite high. And among all the foods I mentioned, the major source of risk is energy drinks like Red Bull, Monster drink, and many other such energy drinks. According to American Academy of Pediatrics, there is no place for energy drinks in the diet of children and adolescents. One can easily contains 80 to 500 milligram of caffeine, which is equivalent to 14 cans of soda. And despite of all the warnings, 50% of the adolescents consume energy drinks and 31% consume caffeine on a regular basis. Some parents and teens confuse between energy drinks and sports drink and mistakenly believe energy drinks are healthy alternative to soda, which is not actually. And if you notice, all these energy drinks have very colorful packaging, mainly to attract people, especially kids and teenagers. And a lot of times these manufacturers don't even mention the actual amount of caffeine present in a beverage. And personally, I have seen kids and teenagers consuming multiple cans of energy drinks. And also these energy drinks contain some substances that are again unhealthy for our kids and teenagers, like sugar, synthetic vitamins, minerals, and additives. Also nowadays, energy drink companies are frequently sponsoring sports events, tournaments, which again appeals young athletes to consume energy drinks thinking that these drinks will help in performance. Now myself being sports and exercise nutritionist with over a decade of experience working with different kinds of athletes, it's important for me to educate you on the consumption of caffeine by athletes, because caffeine is not a prohibited or banned substance by WADA, but it is a part of WADA monitoring program. According to IOC, which is International Olympic Committee, urinary concentration of caffeine should not exceed 12 microgram per ml, and beyond 12 microgram is considered illegal. So any of you guys athletes watching me, please be careful, and I would suggest you to consult a sports nutritionist before experimenting anything on yourself. Now let's talk about how caffeine intake can affect kids and teenagers, and should we be worried about. Studies show that caffeine consumption can affect kids and teenagers' concentration and ability to sleep, which in turn can slow the maturing process of the brain. And since kids have smaller body weight, caffeine has more than twice the impact on children compared to adults. And this means teens and children are more susceptible to have caffeine-related symptoms like anxiety, insomnia, nervousness, restlessness, excitement, hyperactivity, flushed face, GI disturbances, muscle twitching, rambling flow of thoughts and speech, tachycardia, and psychomotor agitation. Caffeine can also cause stunting in children by disrupting the formation of key connections in the brain. So if you want your children to grow tall, then keep an eye on their caffeine consumption. And in the beginning, like I said, caffeine affects sleep, and sleep deprivation can adversely affect physical and mental health of children and adolescents. Drinking coffee can also cause bone loss over a period of time because caffeine can cause calcium loss. Since caffeine affects brain and central nervous system, it affects brain's reward and addiction center, and this in turn can influence food and beverage preferences of children, and this in future may increase the risk of nutritional disorders like obesity and diabetes. Caffeine consumption can also cause bedwetting among children, and caffeine is also an appetite suppressant, so your kids and teens may consume less if they consume caffeine, and this in turn can stop teenagers and kids from getting adequate nutrition, especially if they choose to drink coffee or soda instead of nutrient-dense foods. Consumption of caffeine in the form of energy drinks can also cause dehydration during sports and dental problems if these drinks also contains high amount of sugar. And in rare cases, caffeine can also put pressure on the heart in high doses, and mix of caffeine and sugar can also affect mood. So the effects of caffeine vary from person to person and are affected by size, weight, and previous intake of caffeine. Now, caffeine overdose can happen in children and adolescents, and caffeine toxicity can be fatal. Several deaths in teenagers have been linked to caffeine overdose. So now the question is, at what age caffeine or coffee is safe for kids or teenagers? See, few sips here and there are not a problem, but when these sips turn into daily cups, that's when things go wrong. Please note, coffee is addictive and withdrawal symptoms are real, like alcohol and other psychoactive drugs. So the later you start, the better it is. And personally, I recommend starting post 18 years of age, when growth and development is slowing down. Keep an eye on all the foods and beverages that contain caffeine and try to avoid them as much as possible. Also, try to understand why a child or a teenager is reaching out for coffee. It's whether to cope up with stress or to increase energy levels or alertness, or whatever is the reason, figure out and work on them. And before I end this video, as usual, my final suggestion would be work on adequate nutrition, exercise and sleep of your child and teenager, as these three are far better and safer than anything in a cup or a can. And that's the end of this video. If this was a helpful video, then let me know in the comments below. Like this video and share it with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon.